The Australian Open is when most tennis fans think that the season really gets into full swing. So with the tournament coming up imminently, we've got Andrew Castle with us here today, former British #1 and commentator. So Andrew, what are your views on the season ahead, and with the Australian Open coming up, who should we be looking out for?
Well, I mean, I think with men's tennis particularly, you've got the big four. Last year, there were only a couple of players, Tsonga, Ferrer, who got involved in this battle for the major championships, the four of them, the Australian, French, Wimbledon, the US Open. Only Ferrer and Tsonga really made any impact on the big four, who were, and remain. Djokovic up at the top, Nadal #2, Federer #3. He got that #3 ranking back towards the end of the year in London, and of course Britain's Andy Murray. So my thoughts are, can anybody break into that? I mean, that's kind of an interesting story. But the man that you have to start with, and I assume he's favourite for the Australian Open, Novak Djokovic.
Djokovic, yeah, 7-5 favourite. I mean, he was outstanding.
7-5.
7-5.
To win a slam in the greatest era of all time. It doesn't sound like good value.
No.
But is he going to win? The chances are he will again, because he's just got Nadal's number. I mean, it's very, very interesting. Who would have thought 2 years ago that you'd see Djokovic at sort of 7-5 going into a slam in the Federer-Nadal era as favourite? I mean, it's unheard of. But I mean, he has elevated himself, and he's proven again and again that he's the best player out there. Don't bet against the best. That was always my mantra with Sampras.
So we were talking about Federer and with Nadal, they were sweeping all before them for the last few years.
Yeah.
People are talking about injuries catching up with Nadal, possibly, and age catching up with Federer. But how do you see things? Are they going to continue?
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? So you've got Djokovic at 7-5, and you've got Nadal he's
11-2, and Federer 9-2 for the Australian Open.
See, Nadal goes into a Grand Slam as third favourite, or
well, he's behind Murray actually as well.
He's behind Murray as well. I mean, you've got to be honest with you. The value has to be Nadal. I mean, how can he be? He's fourth favourite to win the tournament. I don't buy that, or rather I would if I could. But that appears to me to be the bet in this particular case. Djokovic deserves to be, the favourite at 7-5. But you don't know when he starts losing, and if it gets too hot, perhaps that gluten-free diet's not going to work quite so well for him. God, I hesitate to say this, but on occasion, when the going has got tough. Now, this was pre-last year. There have been times where you wondered whether he had the mettle. I mean, he's more than proved that he's got it now. Will he have a flaky match? Probably not. Yeah. Federer, fantastic end to last year, looking to reclaim the crown. 30+ years old now, but still has it in him. Look what he did at the O2. Look what he did at
I was going to say, he really came back into it at the end of the season, didn't he?
He was magnificent.
Break, and then, yeah.
The point is that he still loves playing the game. And with Nadal, people have talked about the injuries. You just have Andy. Well, he's going to take February off. He's got a couple of good tournaments in him before that, and I'm yet to see real evidence of this shoulder problem. I don't know where that's. I mean, the O2 perhaps a little tired, but he won the Davis Cup once again, Spain over Argentina. Tough man to bet against in the big ones. It wasn't long ago when he was arriving at the Australian Open looking to be the holder of all four of these things.
That's right.
So he's added a little bit of weight to his racket. Feels like he needs to hit the ball a little heavier, as if he needs it. And just looking to get a bit more work on his serve. So constantly thinking, constantly working, constantly trying to improve.
And how about Murray? We've not talked much about Andy Murray. He's great preparation for this tournament. He's just won the Brisbane International now. Ivan Lendl as his coach.
Yeah.
Is he going to finally win a major? This is what everyone's asking.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, it depends. I mean, if you want to have a sporting bet, or if you wanted to have, if you want to back somebody and sort of add interest, then Murray has to be the perfect candidate. If you just want to sort of spice it up, really. But will he win a major? I mean, how can you say that he won't when he's been in 3 finals? Well, you could say, well, he's been in 3 finals and he hasn't won a set yet. So does he have a mental problem? No, I don't think he does. But perhaps if there's any doubt about that, to have Ivan Lendl on your side, that pretty much gets rid of that. I mean, 2 things about the Lendl thing. One, he's getting paid a whole load of money, right? And he will expect to be listened to. And 2, they're both as stubborn as each other. I knew Ivan and played against him. The guy was rugged. There's going to be a real clash and a real chemistry, and there's often a honeymoon period when guys get together like this, and this new coaching relationship, and Andy will maybe try to show off a little bit in front of Ivan Lendl. He'll look to impress him. Somebody said in the press the other day, some wag, that there'll be no more of this Murray looking up at his box and sort of ranting and raving, which I don't think helps him. I don't buy that yet. I don't care who's in the box. If Andy's frustrated, I think he'll show it. But the chemistry between them will be something to watch. Will he win a major? I didn't answer your question because I don't know.
Well, we'll find out soon enough, I suppose. But outside the top four, you mentioned Tsonga and Ferrer. A lot of Spreadex punters getting with Tsonga, actually. He's a bit of a favourite over on these shores, isn't he? He performs quite well. He's coming to 12 to 1 now. Is there anyone else we should be looking at, or is it just a case of these top four and perhaps the other two, Ferrer and Tsonga on the outside?
Tsonga's a great bet to make a semi-final, always. I mean, you look what he did last year at Wimbledon, beating Federer from 2 sets down.
Yeah.
Having lost the French Open, by the way, against Wawrinka from 2 sets up, so you never know what you're going to get with him. He's a box of chocolates, and he's great fun. If I was looking for value further down, I would look for people who've been in the arena before and who are re-emerging. And the first person that comes to mind is Juan Martín del Potro. This is a man who won the US Open and then suffered, could have been career-threatening injuries, but he worked his way back from absolutely nowhere in the rankings, somewhere outside the top 200, might have been 400. Just hadn't played. Came back from surgery and is now up to 11 in the world. I mean, he's been out there. He's beaten the best, and they expect him to be back at 5, 6, 7 in the world at least. Whether he can break the top 4 this year, I don't know. But the guy is seriously impressive. And here's a name for you that you probably don't know: 25 in the world thereabouts. Milos Raonic, a Canadian, 21-year-old. This time last year came through qualifying, made 4th round. He's got a monster serve. He just won, as Murray won Brisbane. He just won in Chennai. There's lots of different routes, all roads leading to the Australian Open in Melbourne. But Milos Raonic, Raonic.
Okay, and a name to look out for. I believe Del Potro is 12 to 1 with Spreadex, but you can check all the odds, as always, www.spreadex.com. And for the Australian Open, we'll be doing 24-hour trading as well. So if you're up late at night and you want something to bet on, lots of in-play markets there.